Hi, and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about my custom 60s built Strat. Now I built this, I just finished it last night actually, and this is a lot cheaper than buying one. You do need the skills to take care of it and the tools, but it's something I always highly recommend looking into. In this case, I'm basically building a 61 Strat with some tweaks. This is based off the American Vintage 261, which I do have one over here, and I'll do a comparison at some point. Not everything is Fender, but most things are. Let's talk about what's not real quick. We have an Alder 3-piece body from Guitar Fetish. It's an XGP, and I do love the color. It's supposedly based off of a 63 Strat, and then they also routed it for an HSH routing. I do like the body. It's pretty lightweight. This whole guitar I don't think weighs 7 pounds, probably closer to like 6.5. But I like the body. Did have to do a tiny bit of routing because of my electronics, but overall it's good. The neck is an all parts licensed by Fender, 62, unfinished, with a rosewood fretboard, and a gorgeous rosewood fretboard at that. It has 21 tall frets. It's a 7.25 radius, white dots and side markers, 25.5-inch scale guitar. Now, the reason I like the unfinished, while I do like the nitro neck on my other 61, this allows me to color it if I want to, pretty much do anything I want to it. Right now I've got it sanded pretty smooth with about, I think, 800 grit, and I did the headstock with a 1500, I believe. The sticker is just that, it's a sticker. This is not a water slide decal. And it's something that it's very noticeable at the right angle, which I want it to be. It's not made to be a Fender copy. The only reason I put the logo on there is almost everything here is Fender. Okay, so we covered the neck, the radius. The nut is a Graphtec. The tuners are Fender single line, vintage tuners, and a Kluson string guide. We have a Fender F neck plate. Now this was used on the 65s for a short time, so it is still 60s correct. The trim cover is a generic trim cover. Have a Fender pick guard, Fender Pure Vintage 61 pickups, Fender TBX tone control 1 and 2, Fender 5-way switch. It's the American 5-way, not the Pure Vintage, and all parts CTS volume pot 250K. It has a Mojo Tone treble bleed, and as I said, these are both TBX tone controls. The plastics are Fender 60s, I think Pure Vintage 60s. We have a Fender output jack with a Switchcraft output jack with the Fender output jack plate. The Tremolo is a Fender vintage Tremolo. It matches identical to my 61 as far as the measurements. It's got bent steel saddles, so it's very much similar to the 61 reissue that I have, the American Vintage 2. Vintage strap buttons in case you're interested. So pretty much everything on this is Fender, which is why I went ahead and went with the Fender logo. This is meant, like I said, to compete with my American Vintage 261, and it does a fantastic job of that. I like the TBX tone controls because when you turn them up, it's like a little boost. It's a treble and bass expander, but it is a nice boost for soloing or just to get a little more crunch out of your sound without going into overdrive and stuff like that. So that's really nice. I think we've covered every part of the guitar. It's a great player. I think it's a gorgeous looker. Fender has put out a model that looks like this in the past. This is not my unique idea as far as the purple with the black and all that. So I do love this guitar. It's great looking, it's great playing, it's great sounding. And I have about $750 into this build. Now I already had all the tools to this neck. They come unfinished. You might have to do fret work. The frets on this, they're not polished. I did a quick light polish to them. They are leveled, even though they say they may need a little leveling. These frets were leveled. The fret ends, maybe a little touch up, but very playable right out of the box. So let's go ahead and hear it. Okay, so that is my custom 60 Strat. I do actually have a ground that got knocked loose inside it. I'm not sure where. So I'll be fixing that at some point, but other than that, it's been a very successful build. I really like it. I think it sounds great. We'll do a head-to-head with my actual American vintage 261 at some point. But for a third of the price, I would honestly take this all day long, especially since not everyone likes the nitrocellulose finish that comes on the American vintages. I don't mind it. I like both neck styles, so either one works fine for me. But I think a lot of modern players would prefer the satin or unfinished neck. The poly finish, I don't know. I think a lot of players don't care either way, really, unless it's an actual old guitar. All right, well, again, I love this thing. I'd like to know what you guys think about it. And until next time, I hope you enjoy the video. If you like this kind of content, please click like and subscribe. Click the bell icon to stay notified. Leave me some comments and suggestions. I would love to hear from you. And until next time, keep playing.